I remain gravely concerned by the escalating spiral of violence we are witnessing in the occupied West Bank. I condemn all acts of violence against civilians, including all acts of terror, which exacerbate mistrust and undermine a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The violence must stop, and all perpetrators should be held accountable. Israel, as the occupying power, has an obligation to protect Palestinians and their property in the occupied Palestinian territory and to ensure prompt, independent, impartial and transparent investigation into all acts of violence. I reiterate that the security forces must exercise maximum restraint, apply proportional use of force, and use lethal force only when it is strictly unavoidable in order to protect life, and conduct thorough, independent, impartial, and prompt investigation into all instances of possible excessive use of force. I strongly condemn insightful, provocative statements from officials on both sides that further inflame the volatile situation on the ground. Israeli settlements constitute a flagrant violation of the UN resolution and international law. I call on the government of Israel to cease the advancement of all settlement activity immediately. I call upon the Israeli government to end the demolition of Palestinian-owned property and prevent the possible displacement and eviction of Palestinians in line with the obligation under international humanitarian and international human rights law.
Permission, I'm going to start with
I urge all leaders to put on the brakes and rethink the options. The choice is clear. Either continue along the downward spiral of violence and provocation, leading to a political vacuum, or to turn towards constructive dialogue linked to concrete actions that can create hope and a political horizon.
This reality of Palestinian terror, fueled by the non-stop incitement and the incentivization of violence that is spewed at all levels of Palestinian leadership, is the root cause of this conflict and any escalation. And it is precisely this vile hatred that the Council continuously ignores. So, distinguished Council member, I ask, why do we hold these repetitive discussions if the root of the problem is constantly ignored? How can this Council possibly aim to prevent violence if even the sick practice of rewarding terrorists isn't condemned or addressed? At each of these meetings, the focus is completely skewed instead of recognizing the truth that Palestinian incitement and hate fuel the escalation of violence. Most of you prefer to blame Israel.
The Palestinian people are faced with an existential threat, and they are every day more convinced there is no help on the way. Show them that help is on the way. You, the mighty Security Council of the United Nations, you, the mighty international community, show them that help is on the way. Palestine is an indicator of how well or how ill the international-based order is. They see in our fate the proof of double standards and injustice, of the fact this system is designed to work for some and not others. It creates grievances far beyond Palestine. It entrenches mistrust and misunderstandings. We should be standing shoulder to shoulder together, finding ways to provide protection, pursue accountability, achieve justice, so that freedom and peace can prevail.
The members of the Council expressed sorrow for the loss of civilian lives. They recalled the presidential statement adopted on 20th February 2023, including their call for full respect for international humanitarian law and the protection of the civilian population. They emphasized the obligations and commitments of Israeli and Palestinian authorities to fight and condemn terrorism in all its forms in a manner consistent with international law. They further emphasized the importance of holding accountable those responsible for such acts of violence. The members of the Security Council encouraged additional steps to restore a durable calm and de-escalate tensions, and called on all parties to refrain from unilateral actions that further inflame tensions. They further urged for restraint to reduce tension and prevent further escalation.